Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca Gennard. I'm the associate editor for AOCS's Inform magazine. I hope that everyone is enjoying the annual meeting and that you've had the opportunity to attend some of the lectures describing how enzymes provide a biological solution that is revolutionizing the vegetable oils industry. We wanted to talk a little bit more about the financial returns that this technology can bring to your company. And since Novozymes is the global leader in enzyme development and sales for the vegetable oils value chain, we set aside this time to speak to their global marketing manager for oil refining, Andersom Cattoni. Hi, Cattoni.
Hi, Rebecca.
So first, can you explain to us how enzymes benefit the degumming and refining processes for vegetable oil?
Yes, for sure. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you and thank to AOCS for this opportunity. It's always a pleasure for me to talk about enzymes, a sustainable and a profitable option for all the vegetable oil producers. But so when we talk about enzymatic solutions for degumming and refining, the main benefit is the increase in the oil yield, what means produce more oil from the same amount of feedstock. So as a consequence, in the end of the day, a direct increase in the company's profitability.
And is this a new technology?
No, not really. So this solution have been benefiting oils and fats producers for over 20 years, but there is still a good part of the market that don't know a lot about the benefits that enzymes can offer. But for today, as an example, today we have more than 100 plants operating in different countries and regions using different solutions, enzymatic solutions. So we have solutions for refining, degumming, biodiesel, palm oil extraction, interesterification as well, so several options. And also, I would like to emphasize, so Novozymes is a global company and it has a team of experts in all the regions and continents. One good example is of this is, let's say, smart footprint that focuses on being close to the market is that I'm based in Brazil, even in a global position, I'm based in Brazil. I'm talking from Brazil now, since the region, LA, is very important on oilseed production. And by the way, that's why you can notice this Brazilian accent, and sorry for that.
That's great. So tell us more about your product, Quara Boost. What is its potential applications and benefits?
Yeah, Quara Boost is our latest launch. It is an enzyme that we call a phospholipase C, or just a POC. It was launched last year. It is a success. So it's a very versatile, and we are delivering excellent performance in the plants we have implemented so far. So the classic application for a POC is in the water degumming process, in which the product, the enzyme, will convert the phospholipids into diglycerides, or DAG. So it's about converting the unwanted component, that is the phospholipid, into more oil. So that's a very important benefit for the companies. And moreover, the action of the enzyme will reduce the emulsifying power of the gums. So it will not drag so much neutral oil as we see, for example, today in the traditional process. So that's another benefit. It's a combination of benefits. So combining that, the customers or the producers, they can achieve and convert by up to 2% of the gum into extra oil. So something around 2% extra yield. Mm-hmm. And of course, it will depend a lot on the content of phospholipids present in the crude oil. That's very important, since we are converting the phospholipids into DAG, so the amount of phospholipids is the key element for that calculation. So, and in addition to the water degumming step, that is the classic one, our team in Denmark, the application research team, have developed a very innovative and a patent pending process that is about applying and using the same product, Quara Boost, with the alkaline refining process that sometimes we call chemical neutralization. So that's a very different process.
Okay. This seems like pretty important technology for the industry. Is there anything else that you can tell us?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's a very revolutionary solution for the industry. This one for alkaline refining, especially because it allows this part of the market to get the benefits from the extra yield. Because today only the physical refining plants can do that. So now we are opening this solution for 100% of the market. So everybody that is producing and refining vegetable oil will be able to capture that extra value. Okay. I would like to talk more about this application today, all the technical details, but I think we don't have time here. But I hope everybody here was able to watch the presentation made by Permonk last week here in AOCS about that application. And they can also access the article that was published by AOCS a few months ago with that detailed explanation about that. But what I can say in a very simplified way is that the new process is very simple and consists of just including the enzymes reaction step right after the acid step, the acid treatment of the oil. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you can even disable the water degumming step because all the benefits that, let's say, the enzymes will clean the oil from the phospholipids in that second step. So you can save money and time if you just delete the water degumming step, because you can do that just with this second step. And with that, so it will deliver the same benefit we discussed about water degumming, for example, that is by up to 2%, because it's exactly the same operation, converting diglycerides into DEC and also reducing the emulsifying power in this oil. Of course, always depending, again, it's important to reinforce this, depending on the phospholipid content in the crude oil.
Okay. And what does that mean in terms of profit? How can customers make that calculation?
Yeah, it is a quite simple calculation, but I will try to explain slowly and step by step, just to be clear here. So first step, let's take one example. So we are talking about one plant that is processing soybean oil with 1,000 ppm of phospholipids, right? So in that case, we have a good experience, and using Quara Boost, it's possible to achieve 2% of extra yields on that specific feedstock. So it means that we are producing more 20 kilos per each ton of oil that you usually produce. So not just 1 ton, but 1 ton and 20 kilos. So that's the first step, additional oil. Now we need to understand the market, right? And I'm talking here about price, the soybean oil price. Mm-hmm. So we are in a very good moment today. The prices are very high. Mm-hmm. So today, for example, the price is around $1,000 per ton. That's a very good situation. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use that number for sure, but it's also important to highlight that it is a good moment even for the producers to start investing on solutions in order to get that extra yield, right? Mm-hmm. But then, so going back to the calculation, so you have 20 kilos, $1,000 per ton. The key number here is you can achieve or increase your revenue by up to $20 per ton of oil you produce, right? So that's the, let's say, the number per ton, $20. But of course, you can ask me, so, but what about the costs, extra costs, things like that? So that's common. So let's take that into account and discount from that value the extra costs. So we have, yes, some extra costs on the operational process. You have the enzymes costs, and also you can consider to reduce a little bit the revenues coming from the gums that usually you sell blended into meal or to another application. So, but taking everything into consideration, taking into account here, based on our experience, we could say that you can discount around $6 to $7 from that value. So let's consider $6. So $20 extra revenue, $6 extra cost. So in the end, you have something around $14 per ton of oil in your bottom line. This is profit. So that's a very good number, right? Just a good number per ton. But maybe, so let's try to expand our view here. So how much money I can gain in 1 year since I have installed that solution. So that's very simple. Let's just use Also, another example. So a medium plant producing 500 tons per day of oil and working around 330 days a year. So very common number for the industry. In that situation, if you just multiply the numbers, $14, 500 tons, 330 days per year, you can easily achieve an extra $2 million per year in the bottom line. So that's a lot of money to waste, right? Yeah. So, and I said, again, it's I say just good numbers, but I need to reinforce. So it depends a lot, of course, on several factors, as we saw: oil price, phospholipids components, so how much phospholipids you have in the crude oil, the plant capacity, so different things. But I think, and I would like to reinforce, sorry for the answer, for the long answer here, but I know that probably customers will say, but in my plant, this is different. I have a different feedstock. I have a different setup. That's fine, it's fair. So that's why you can do and run your own simulation using your own data to see how much money you can get from that solution. So you can do that by visiting our website, novozymes.com, and you can read more about the solution, all the details. And you can also visit one tool that we have launched last year that is a simulation tool, a public one. So everybody can go there and run the simulation with their own data, adapting the price, phospholipids, everything. So, and that tool is, it's possible to access visiting the website, oilprofitcalculator.com.
Okay. And then what about capital investment? You haven't talked about that. Is there an investment required for a company to make these changes to their plant?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Thanks for asking. So we need to be transparent here, right? So we're not talking about a solution that is just a plug and play. You can just go there tomorrow and start running. So the customer will need, or the producer will need, some adjustment in the line, okay? I can't say the amount of investments needed for that because it depends a lot on the current structure in the plant size, the goals for that plant. So it changes a lot, but what I can say is that all the global engineering companies today working on that space for refining the gummy, they already know about this solution. We have talked to them, and they are able to send a quotation, to prepare a project, a proposal for everybody. So, but considering and using our experience over the last year, we can assure to you is that the payback for this kind of project during the last year, so we have implemented several projects, the payback has not been longer than 2 years. 2 years. So it is a very short payback to prevent companies to capture this extra value, right? And Novozymes, I would like to reinforce. So Novozymes will always be there, very close to the market, close to the customer, assisting in the whole process of this transition to this new level of sustainability and profitability.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Cattoni. This has been really informative. I'm sure that a lot of people will be interested in that extra gain that they will get from using enzymes in their production processes. I wish you the best of luck with your business and enjoy the rest of the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. Thanks, AOCS. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.